Good morning, everybody. The first thing I'd like to do today, before I forget, because I can get all tied up in what I'm saying and forget something, I do it all the time, to my beta readers, your copies of Brewster's Farm are arriving in my mail today, barring weirdness from the Postal Service. Nobody can account for that, but they are out for delivery today. That means as soon as they get here, I can sign your copies and I can put them in a padded envelope and send them out to you. I don't know if I'll get them to the mail until Monday or not. But anyway, they're coming today, and you will each get a signed copy. So make sure, if you haven't already, that I have your proper mailing address, and by sometime next week, at the end of next week, you might have your copy. So that's some business right there to attend to. Eventually, I'm going to get one complete set together, all 3 books. The number 3 is close to being ready to publish. It's not, the first draft isn't done now, don't get me wrong. It should be ready by the end of the month, I think, which is only in a few days. But I have written that challenging scene that I told you about, that I hope I can do it justice. And I reread it a couple of times, kind of tweaking a couple sentences here and there. And at the end I went, whoa, that was a ride. So I hope other people feel the same way. I hope they really get involved in that. And it's, in a way, it's kind of an action scene. So I'm having to write it in a way that the descriptions of it sound logical and make sense, and you can see it. You can really see it, and you feel like you're there watching it. That's what I want. I hope I achieve it, but that is out of the way. So there's only like 2 or 3 things left to even get to in the book. Basically, 3 beats or scenes, maybe a 4th. It's kind of more of a transition between them, and the transitions where they go from one to the other. And it will be done, the first draft, and I'll put it through what I call brutal editing. And then my beta readers get their copies. This time I may send out the whole book instead of the first half and the second half when they're done with the first, because it became apparent that some things that were not answered, for one, said, well, I don't know what happens with this. Well, they would have to read the second half. So I think I may send the whole thing out at one time. So please read it as quickly as you can. Anyway, I'll just deal with that later. But I thought, well, I wonder what else can I say about these books right now. I know I feel like I'm a salesman hawking things, but of course you're promoting your book. I just couldn't believe it when Steve Smith was criticized for saying his channel was sponsored by his 7, at the time 7, there's an 8th one coming, Books of the Stonewant series. And people were like, well, all you want to do is make money. Well, hello, what do you write a book for? To just give it away to everybody? Some people might, but isn't that kind of the point? I mean, come on. You begrudge somebody the salary from their job? Seriously? I couldn't understand those people. But anyway, yes, we hope readers enjoy them. But we also can't afford to just give them away because they don't print them for free. We have to pay for printing. And they don't print them for free. At least Rep the Digital sure does it. I don't think Amazon does either. You pay for the printing. And, after all the expenses are out, what's left, you might get a tiny pittance of a royalty from a physical book. E-books make more money than physical books, believe it or not, because there's no printing cost involved. You're not paying for any printing, and you're getting most of the profit because it's a digital file. So anyway, I kept thinking, well, why would somebody want to read these books besides supporting me? And I thank you so much for the people who do support me every day on this channel and my other channel. But why would you want to read these books? Well, do you like books that are, I guess you would consider them clean? These are not per se Christian books, but the people in these books, the characters, they have values, and they have a sense of pride and family, and they're not They're not what, and now if anybody's young, they might not know what we're talking about. They're not Pollyannas. Do you know what a Pollyanna is? It's someone, it comes from an old movie called Pollyanna, where Haley Mills, I think it was Haley Mills, played this little girl who was just endlessly optimistic. And she saw the good in everything, everything. Now, some people think that's a positive trait. And it can be, however, being a Pollyanna has a negative connotation that you are irrationally optimistic, that you tend to hide from everything. You know, hear no evil, speak no evil, see no evil, that kind of thing. She just doesn't see it. And so being a Pollyanna, I see a lot of Pollyannas in the Hallmark Channel movies. I've heard more than once from editors, don't write the Hallmark Channel. The people are not flawed enough. You have to have a flaw. Everybody's got flaws. You can't just gloss it over. Everybody can't be 25 years old and a supermodel or some guy off of the handsomest man in America magazine cover. They can't be that. People are real people, and they all have flaws, and they can have values, and they still have flaws. I mean, you're not going to get a perfect human being. And they have things that they bring out of their childhood and things that happen to them. And, you know, that shapes you. So these are real people. So if you like clean books, you'll hear a few cuss words, and very few, and in very appropriate places, let me say. You'll never hear the F word because I don't use it. It's not used in this house. So, you know, I'm a real person. I have flaws. I do things wrong. I have human feelings and emotions. But, you know, I don't cuss like a sailor. So, you know, I'm a believer and have very rock solid Christian values, but I don't necessarily push that aspect of it. I believe in fairness. I believe in honesty. And I believe in people earning what they get, that kind of thing. And so these people have values, family values. There's a lot of family dynamic, mostly chosen family. I think in the way we are today, a lot of times your chosen family is the family that you can really depend on. I don't know about your biological family. Biology doesn't guarantee loyalty. Absolutely doesn't. So they have family values. Do you like something where people are challenged and they meet challenges? Do you like books where they do hard things? Let's just put it that way. They do hard things. They lose. They grieve. They come back fighting. That kind of thing. Do you like that kind of book? Where obstacles are in front of them, and sometimes they fight through them, and sometimes they go around them. So you got family values, you got obstacles, you have human emotion from the gamut from one to the other. You've got danger. You've got drama. You have frightening physical danger in the third. I just wrote that scene, and it's one of those points where they say that for characters, you need these six things for characters to make sure that they come across as real and believable. And the one thing that this scene hit on is that the character has a line that he swears he will never cross. That becomes a real challenge in the scene I just wrote. So they're real people with real problems, and sometimes worse problems than you've had. Definitely worse problems than I've had. But I think they're real people. They're not caricatures of people like some romance novels have. I mean, these people are just ridiculous. Caricatures of people. And there may be a little romance, but there's not going to be any physically explicit kind of scenes. None of that. I don't think we need that. As adults, don't you know what happens in the bedroom? I think we all do, don't we? So why would we describe that in such great detail? To titillate our audience, basically. That's not what this is for. This is relationships. These are real people with real drama and real in caring about other people, and other people care about them, and they have to fight for each other at certain points. So if you like transformation, in the first book, Iris is in September, a woman's husband, it opens with a woman, her coming back from her husband's funeral. He died at 50 years old. She's about to turn 50. And she didn't expect that. Does she? Of course not. I mean, unexpected loss of a spouse could send you either direction. You could either grieve and then push on through and go the next step in your life, or you can lay down and wallow in your grief and never get out of your puddle. So this woman chose to not to wallow. She chose not to wallow, and she made a huge decision at a time when the general advice is don't make big decisions. Well, she did, and she got through it, and she overcame a lot of things and created a life for herself with a full, rich gamut of friends and activities, and it's just, I think it's a very hopeful book. Book 2 is also a very hopeful book. Brewster's Farm. Different challenges. Woman slightly younger than the first one. The book opens and she's 40. So she's still young. In my opinion, that's still young. Since I'm 69, 40 is still really young. You're barely out of babyhood, aren't you? So there's challenges in each one of them. The third one, it really gets intense, and I think it basically highlights what happens in small town as decades pass, and it's not the same place that you knew, and sometimes elements move into town that bring other people together in a way to combat this. So I think if you like those kind of things, and you don't require spicy scenes, I mean really spicy scenes, you don't require that for your entertainment, and yet you do require people to seem like they're real people, that they have flaws, that they're not perfect every time they react to something, that they don't have this perfect Hallmark Channel attitude about everything. So if you like that kind of book, you might like the Clancy Mountain series. Now, after book 4, after book 3, is there going to be a book 4? I have a book 4. The ideas are developing now, and at the beginning I was not going to write it as part of the series. I was going to have it be a standalone, basically. But that's the way Iris has started, as a standalone. I never even considered a series until people start saying, well, what happens to this person and this person? I'm like, well, I have to find out, so I have to write it, right? And that one thing I just said is kind of true. Sometimes these things write themselves, and they go places that you didn't even plan. It just naturally comes out, and that's the way it shakes out. And usually it's better than what you had in mind in the first place, in my opinion. So anyway, I'm done. It's a beautiful spring day. I just wanted to stop in and say, would you like these books? Would you like the Clancy Mountain series if you haven't read it? And if you have read it, if you have read Brewster's Farm and Iris is in September, I would ask that you, in the comments section, help other people out and tell them why they might want to read it. You tell them why they might want to read it, why they might like it, and why you would recommend it. So, thanks everybody. Have a wonderful day. God bless. Bye.